Oi, oi! I'm a little bit late, and oh, I'm 4 minutes bloody late. I thought I was only a couple of minutes late. Sorry about that. Oi, oi! Who's in here? Oh, Kev's here. Oi, matey. How you doing? Dan's in. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing good. Hope everybody's sweet as a nut. I thought I'd just bang a live out there. Considering it's like right up to the storm, and I had a like really kind of lethargic, lazy day today. God blimey. I don't know whether it's just the whole build up of the storm and all that, but all of a sudden I felt really like, wow, I just want to sleep. um, and I had cancelled my guys for this week because I didn't know what this was going to be. I didn't know whether it was going to be a little bit heavier than what it actually was. So it was big the first day we went out. Definitely the biggest surf I've been in. Finding it's a bit smaller but harder to surf. There's more current. Oh, I think I think you might be talking to Kevin, right? That's what it sounds like. So I thought I'd bang out a lot. I thought I'd bang out a live. I don't know. We're down to one. It says in the room. I hope we ain't lost anybody. I hope everybody's still there. But yeah, just thought I'd put a live out and have a little chat and a little bit of praise for the people that stay loyal, to tell you the truth, because I've had those messages come through from different people from different areas and saying you're good, Tell you about the storm. Yeah, it was whenever there's one of those things coming across, I mean it's all right, matey. How you doing, Kevin? Hope you're good, matey. Hope you're good. I was just going to get into a little bit of story around the storm, really, at the minute. But we could talk about whatever. You can ask questions. You can bring anything up or anything like. We'll probably get into some kind of conversation around something. But yeah, when those storms rip off of like the southern African coastline there, they come off the bottom there around and then when they get into the Atlantic, I'm always good. Glad you're doing all right, matey. They're always a little bit of a worry, but then it depends on what the jet stream's doing and what kind of pressures we've got around us. That where those things, which they have been doing, a majority of them, thank God, over the years, have been pretty much bouncing. I mean, obviously those that have been struck by them, I know kind of what they go through because I've been through heavier ones than what we went through last night, even though it was heavy. um, but it was whenever they're coming in from the Atlantic, because we live that side on the east side. It's always a worry more coming from that way because, and then we do take more of an impact. And we've had them to where I forget which one it was, but it came across cat. I think it was a Cat 4 plus, and it was crazy. It literally scraped, like followed the coastline. We could see it. We was getting the bands of the damn thing, but the eye of it was like right off the coastline, and it just rolled up the coastline. Crazy. And then you had Charlie that year where they started out in the Gulf. I mean, that's pretty much where Charlie started. I think it was down south way. Or it might have come in. It might have come in from the Atlantic and went into the Gulf, but I know it approached us on the west side. So this one coming across, and then I thought, blimey, it's going to have momentum before it gets to us because it's like way over the other side of the Gulf. And when they were talking Cat 5, I was starting to like, that don't sound too clever. a bloody Cat 5, you know what I mean? It's like, and my missus is like, oh no, we'll be all right. You know what I mean? Blimey, tell you what. So when that thing started peeling across and it reached Cat 5 and midweek time, and then I put one of the weather things on, and the fella the fella's standing there and he's looking at the camera going, "We've never seen anything like this." And I'm thinking, "Oh no." Oh no, no, no. I don't want to hear that, seeing as that you got the projected eye coming at the point at that time. It was like going to be coming right over us. I mean, this one was like way, way close. Um, but anyway, so then it was a matter of, what you're going to do. So when it came in, we had some of those out of bands coming. I got the dog out for a walk. I dropped a vid about it and got the dog out for a walk and had a bit of a walk with him. And then it started to come in raining and that, and we had some bands that kind of floated in as I was coming back home. And when I got in, it just kept raining pretty much. We had little gaps to where you could, as you're going in between the bands that are coming in and that, and little gaps in between. And then it started. It's that anticipation of waiting. It's like waiting for a battle to start happening. I don't mind good storm, but the sheer size of those, I know, right? Devastating. Any local damage to you? No, we haven't checked our roof yet. I've seen a couple of shingles that were laying about, and I'm wondering if that was us. I don't know. But in the grand scheme of things, couple of shingles over your roof, I'll take a couple of shingles, and we've, the trees have been battered a bit, and, but our stuff's pretty much intact. We had a couple of plants that took a couple of blows. But on the grand scheme of the whole thing, it was crazy because I did sleep. Yeah. Weirdly enough, it just goes to show how you work your mind, because I really, really am crazy afraid of these things. I mean, it's you. I love living here, but you got to put up with, we live on an earth, we live on a planet, and we forget that, So it's like, walking around an open bed of water here and going, I don't want to see gators. Well, so I've never been able to handle them that well. I've really been a bit nuts, and I'm not saying I didn't drive me missus a bit bleeding loop bowl on this on this time, because as it was ripping across that gulf, I was like, oh no, this is nature we're looking at here, and I'm looking at all the reports where I fell into a little bit of that trap where they're they can get to a cat. It gets to a bleeding cat 1, which really isn't that too bad. But they're like, oh my god, and I fell into that. I fell into that a little bit, and so we needed it to creep south, which it did in the end. It went a bit south of us because we didn't want the. I think it's the southern part. Like if it had gone north of us, we would have had the southern part of the, and it's apparently obviously science proves it. But I think the tornadoes rip off more off of there and that. And there was one point where, if you look at one of my lives that I was doing yesterday, because I was just jumping on where I could. So there's one that I banged out there that I all of a sudden I had to like pause because there's alarms going off, and you'll hear my wife in the background going, "Steve, stairs," and it's like, okay, where you just say you got to drop, you got to get for cover, because again, it's one of those where it's not like, Mother Nature don't go, oh, they're good people, and I don't know about, all right, we'll take that. In the it's going to rip. The lower swinging edges Oh, the lot, right? Yeah, that's what I've heard. Some of the I really got into, and it's it's down to my anxieties, and I don't know if anybody else does this, but sometimes those things that we fear, it's good to learn what it actually is. And I started going into the weather and wanting to learn about the weather and what was what. And then now I find clouds interesting. Like you'll see me, I mean, I know I'm hippie and all that, but you'll see me walking around like, taking pictures of the sky because I'm like mesmerized by, starting this whole journey that I'm on, the actual, the way some of the way I was handling this storm was actually looking at what it actually was, and just the magnitude and the way they form and is absolutely just a freaking work of art. I mean, it really is. I mean, the way these things, what we live on, is an amazing, amazing, amazing thing. But there's those things that are around us that we're better off learning about and finding out what they are. And that's what I did. I just tuned into that for some of it. I was meditating and tuning into it a little bit. I'm not saying I didn't slip now and again. I sure did. um, and your mind starts going to all other different things, normally like freaking health anxieties and shit like that, where it starts kicking off and you start pinning it places, and your mind's going a bit, and it's a matter of tuning into something. But yeah, it was pretty freaking gnarly. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. And the storm surge and all that, people down Tampa Way and all that, they got rocked. And I think Sarasota, I think they got a bit steamy. Um, yeah, and I feel for all those people up there because I think it was Ian, wasn't it, 2 years ago that tore up through there, and holy shit, when the news reports came in that the bloody I think it was parts of the pier or something, but it was these massive boulders of just, I don't know, I forget what they said. It was like a couple of ton or something, like concrete was just washed up on the road, like on the side. It's like, holy shit. That is freaking sheer power. And you're better off respecting it. It's just like, when I make Carver. I don't know, has any of you heard about Carver? It's gone a bit quiet in the old comment room there. Oi, oi. It'd be great to get some more people in there. It really would. I threw the message out. So if you can throw the message out, guys, that'd be great. See if anybody, because people might not even realise. I mean, I just threw this out, spare of the moment, a couple of hours ago. So, um, well, I was going to talk about Carver, and I can't remember why I was about to talk about Carver. But Carver, if you don't know about Carver, excuse me, if you don't know about Carver, I need a drop of tea, but it's bloody hot. If you don't know about Carver, do a little bit of research on it. I've just ordered some more actually. And I'm not telling anybody go out there and just start hammering Carver. You make sure you're all healthy and all that. I don't want anybody coming back after watching this going, "Oh, you said the It's what I do. It's what I do." And Carver, I was making some of that up yesterday, and it's about using your tools again with this storm. It was about using tools. So I knew I had my carver there. I used some green kratom too, and put a little green kratom in with the carver, and I made this kind of like a cocktail drink with LaCroix. It wasn't LaCroix; it's the same as LaCroix. I made up a cocktail thing, sat there, in the evening, just sipping on that, and just keeping the mind calm as possibly can, and trying not to pay attention to the because it's the noise outside that also gets your old mind going. Oh no, because you can hear things freaking blowing out. Like if a fence blows out, you hear it. And we heard some crazy thunder. Um, my wife come out from the room and she goes, "Did you hear that?" It kind of vibrated the house. It was crazy. It was like what? It didn't sound like thunder. It was a really weird sound. But how you guys doing? Have you felt anything from anything of this or anything? Because I think it went straight out into the Atlantic. I think. But they're also saying there's another something brewing up down there in the bloody Gulf and all. Because a guy that Dan put me onto that's a really good one to follow. Kev, I don't know if you follow him, Dan. If you can put him up, because I don't know the name, I just know the link that you've sent me. Good one to follow. And he had made mention about it. There's like something there. Reckons around about next Tuesday, there's something could materialise and start frigging heading. But there's also another fella that we watched, the local weather, that I was watching last night when he was reporting back what was going on as it was happening. And at the end of one of these reports, he made mention of this. He's like, he ain't even picking up on like the guides of different areas of the world that pick up on these things, that do the lines. I forget what they call that do the lines and projections. But he made me, and I thought, oh no, oh no, nothing up here from that one. We had some wind and such from right. Yeah. I know that headed up because that took a different route, didn't it? It went like I think it went panhandle, didn't it, and then up straight, kind of. And then over, I think. I'm not sure. I think it did. This one took a bit of a different line because it went kind of like Charlie. It kind of hit that west coast and kind of diagonal a bit and went across. But I don't know if there was any surfers down there or anything like that. And there probably was. I mean, we went out there with Bleeding Grum that like the day before that it was like hitting up. It weren't even level with us yet, the eye, but boy, was it ripping. Holy shit, was it ripping. And I went out into my waist and felt a bloody, like the tug. It was like someone had a rope around my waist and was like doing this. It was like, oh shit. Yeah. That was pulling a bit. Right, yeah, no doubt, right? Is that what happens as it dissipates and it goes up and then it just starts dumping the rain up that way, yeah? Probably does. I know when we lived in Maryland, we kind of got dumped on for rain and that one with storms and that. But how was your visit? How was your visit then, Dan? We ain't really talked about it. How was your visit with old Gromster? Gromster. I was trying to get a call in the other day, but busy man. I don't know if I'm going to put a shout out there again and see if anybody gets on. Let me see who I can share it with. Let's share it with the old. Let's share it with the both groups and see if anybody comes on. So what's your weather like now? Because it's weird right now, the old storms. I knew, I mean, we knew it was coming anyway. I mean, we knew it was coming. But one of the things I always clue into is when the humidity kind of drops and goes, it kind of dies down, and it gets slightly cooler. And I'm like, and that's when something I've even come in not knowing what's because I try not to really pay. My wife pays attention more to it than I do. Gromson's trip was a blast, truly life shifting experience. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a sec. Um, my wife keeps an eye on she keeps an eye on the Atlantic and what's going on with storms and one thing the other. I try and because it does send my freaking anxieties flying a little bit. Um, but I mean, we knew it was coming, so we knew it was coming in, but all of a sudden it was like the day before when I was walking the dog, actually, the morning off, the evening. Um, it was cooler out, humidity was died down a bit, and I thought, oh, yeah. And that's that pulling air because when we've had them go across us, and that's what's happened right now. Like it's gone cooler a bit out there and that. And it's just because the storm's pulling away and it pulls it away from us, pulls it all away from us. So all that humidity and heat and that kind of gets a bit pulled away. Um, so let's talk about it, Grant. Let's talk. he's like a kid in a sweet shop, isn't he? it was. It's funny because I take so much for granted now, living here for so long that I don't even hear the accent. I mean, I just don't. Unless I'm talking to someone where I haven't really heard that, like a Boston accent, I can pick that out a bit. Drop a tea. Hold up. But he ain't even been to the US before, so it's quite a bloody experience. And he was like his eyes were like that. it was quite funny to watch, quite an experience. And I know I was a bit like that when I first came in because I know when I wanted to come to the US and then getting here and getting outside the airport and going, holy shit, like everything was just big. So he was, yeah, yeah. We had a rip with him. It'd have been good if we could have figured the bald thing out a little bit quicker, and maybe rented, from the start, because then he could have had more time, kind of doing other stuff as well, because we could have hit the beach like early, rented the ball. Well, what do we know, right? So he wasn't meant to have gone that way. So he's having a rip though, and I'd say I'm freaking proud of him because it's not an easy thing to one just take off on your own. You know, what did you feel like then first meeting up? How did it feel? Was you nervous and that? I was. I ain't gonna lie. I was. It was like it was not ever meeting someone. I mean, you talk to them all the time, but it's like it's there's always that thing when it comes to that's why it's so important with social. You shut down the social aspect of things, and it really starts having an effect on the mind a lot. So that explains it right there. When you ain't met someone, and all of a sudden it's like that bit of like not tension, but you know what I mean. It's like something there, right? A little nervous, but then transition to like always knowing home. Oh, knowing him. Right, 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 right. I pretty much clicked in fairly quickly. Fairly quickly. You know, slight a bit of banter, piss balling about, things like that, yeah. And then it was all good, it was all good, yeah. Yeah, it was all good. I had to go at him a few times about doing this, the old business. What's all that about? Eh? Gromster. Grumstar, if you were bloody watching it, I hope my energy's floating over to you now, right now, and getting on you. You know, I'm playing on your freaking mind. You'll turn right up here in a minute if I am, because I'm talking about you. Yeah. Talking about you, not to you. Talking about you, not to you. Got to stop this, man. What the heck? Sleep a bit more as well. You got to get a bit. I know it's a big old laugh, right? It's not. It's not. You know. Come on, man. Let's get you sorted out. You had the signs, and here I was with the energy stuff going. You know what? There's signs here, Grommy, and we're going. Start each day with no plan. It all works out right. It's the best way to do it, mate. Best way to do it. Not only that, it keeps both excited. You know, if it's planned, one of you knows, right? So then it's like, oh, come in, I'll show you this, and I'll show you. You know, because we planned a bunch of stuff out, and then it all shifted and changed, and those are the best because, and then you're both not in the know, so it's much more adventurous that way. You know, what's going to turn up, what's going to happen, where we going, who we meeting, just don't know, right? And they're the best. They're the best. They're the fun times. And surprised not many people are coming on. Surprised. But have you done any? When do you? Are you done any surfing today, Kevin? If you're still here, did you surf today, mate? You get the old board in the water. That water's been looking pretty rippy and all. It's got some. It's looking like it's got some force behind the old waves a bit there. They're looking a little bit. They look like they're peaking up a bit more. I don't know. I might be wrong. I don't know anything about surfing. So, but fill in your face. You're getting the old grub on. We got mine. Mine's coming in a minute. I always know when they're like my wife and my girls are planning something, what they want to eat. I always know there's something. Because then, you know, my wife goes, well, you know, I can bring you back one of those bowls because I'm vegan. I say plant based because I do eat honey and, you know, I don't live the whole straight up lifestyle of it. But when it comes to food, I am completely plant based, apart from honey. So whenever she's saying, you know, I get you one of these, I'm like, oh no, what's going on here? And she's like, we want to get wingies. And I'm like, oh, yeah. There you go. Went out with Cam last weekend, pretty good waves, tons of current. We had like 4 or 5 foot. Oh, no shit. All right. Was that due to the storm, maybe? I don't know. I know he caught hold of me and said he was going out there. And there was like a back end of the storm behind it. They looked like they were. I watched your video, the last one there, and they looked like they were packing a bit of a punch. Looked like they were ripping a bit there. I don't know if you can see. Can you see my? Can you see my monk with the? I put cones in there, cone incense in there. There's a cone incense in there, and it comes out. He's doing this, and it comes out through the hands. Awesome! I love that thing. It was a weird wind pattern. Not sure where it came from. Yeah, right. It's like when I went down to the water when a bloody Helen was coming up through, and we were down there on the beach. The waves were all over it. Freaking, there was nothing straight about it. It was really hard to watch to see what was happening where and what was moving. It was all over the place. Mushy, yeah. The artist. What? When you say mushy, do you mean like really soft, not packing much of a punch, not got much force? Because they look like it was from the video. I mean, again, what do I know? It looked like they got a bit of a bit of welly behind it, but I don't know much about. And I know you got like a bigger board and all that for smaller waves. I know that. I picked that up. I'm starting to learn a bit. I learned a bit about the shape of boards and that. It was interesting when Grom was here, and then we bumped into put a couple of shorts up with a fella in a surf shop, and he got chin wagging, and it was cool hearing him and listening to him. Where's your local spot, Dan? Where's your local spot, Kevin? Dan said. They break early and don't push too hard or stand up well. Soft top of the waves. Yeah. So it kind of breaks down. Yeah. Don't hold you. Yeah. I tell you what, those ones down the freaking coast when we were down there, bloody hell, were they ripping? Jeez. It put in mind of, and I don't know if I'm making this up or what, but it put her in mind of someone tearing through, grabbing hold of somebody and just going, like they were freaking traveling and hard. Muskegon. Am I saying that right? We're about 2.5 hours away, but trying to make the trip weekly if we can. Muskegon. Oh, it's really hard with his accent. Muskegon. Is that right? Closer. I'll take it. Muskegon. Say it faster. Muskegon. I bet it sounds absolutely nothing like it. I remember an old hockey team from there, the Lumberjacks. Are they still around? I used to like a bit of ice hockey, but I guess one of those games I don't understand. I used to watch it for the rucks and the freaking pushing about and shit. Muskegon. Am I Muskegon? I'm not saying I was going to say gun. Muskegon. Is that it? Muskegon? That's a weird. Where does that come from? Muskegon. Is that right? Muskegon. Where does that come from? Is it Native American? That's really interesting. I love getting into all that. I love getting into Native American and I love it because it's spiritual. It's the way I'm actually getting a bit freaking light-headed thinking about it. Yeah. Do that. Yeah. Say it. I've got to hear it. If I hear it, well, mind you, even when I hear it, my girls laugh at my ass because they'll say this, Dad, and I'll say it, and they're like, they just start laughing at me. And I'm like, what are you laughing at? I said, yeah, you said it. No, you ain't. And it, but I love it, mate. I love it. This whole state is it native then? Yeah. Is it a Native American thing? Because I love when I hear things like I hear a lot of things, because of the settlers as well, and there'll be road names and stuff that's like, the same. Oi, Buddha Bing is in. Buddha Bing, great guy over in London, in Tooting, in London, South London. So say hello to the Jarrett's journey. His name's Kevin, matey. And you got Dan in here, who I think you've met before. But we're just talking about. I just got into Kevin mentioned about this place. Is that a city, matey? Is that a city, Kevin? Muskegon? I'm not sure where that is. It a where? Because I know you're in Michigan, right? But is that a city there or something? Because yeah, we're all right, matey. Yeah, yeah, yeah. We had a bunch of. I mean, don't get me wrong. We got knocked about a bit, and we haven't really looked at the roof or anything like that yet. Because I've seen a couple of shingles that have been on the old driveway, but whether it's ours, and the neighbours said they reckon they've had something from our roof over there. But you know what? I used to panic about those things because now it's like, oh no, the roof. But you know what? In the grand scheme of things, man, we did fucking blinding. And right early, like really early, the lights were going in and out, and the electric was going off. Then the freaking internet went down, and we were sitting around, and I'm like, oh, we had the local TV on, and then I just started laughing at the lights going on, and I was like out of a horror movie. And I was determined to get a live going. So I was laughing. And I think because of my old freaking attitude with it changed, the lights came on and stayed on. Fucking stayed on. Like, what? Yeah, we're still getting you up. Sorry, I'm just in case people ain't reading it, but is it over now? Would have been said. But yeah, pretty much, it's gone out over the Atlantic now. We still get some rain and stuff like that, but nothing like, nothing like major. Yeah, it's a city on the west side of the state in the lower mid. We live in Fenton, which is just south of the bay, about an hour. I want to get a map. I'd like to get a US map and pin where I know people are from. I might do that. I might look that up and see if there's something online I can get and pin it and stuff. Have to run. It's been real and all right. Then good seeing you, matey. Thanks for jumping on. Appreciate you, dude. And thanks for checking in when it was all shit kicking off. Checking in on us, matey. I do really, really appreciate it, matey. And all that energy came forth, mate. It came forward, and it bloody. I'll tell you what, it freaking works, mate. So appreciate the energy, I really do, and the love that you pushed out there, matey. Checking in and that, because yeah, we got through. We're all right. So I ain't got no complaints. Like I say, might be maybe a few shingles missing, but I was prepared for a lot bloody worse. We heard the old sliding door kind of buckle a few times. and my wife's going, "Did you hear the sliding door?" And I'm trying to make light of it because my head ain't particularly clever anyway. But I don't want to like fire everybody else off. So I'm like, "Huh?" And she's like, "Did you hear the sliding door?" And I'm like, "Oh, what is it buckling in and out a little bit?" But yeah, it was like, she goes, "No, it sounded like someone was banging the door." And I'm like, "No, I think it's all right." Holy shit. But yeah, we did all right. I mean, as far as these bloody things go, yeah, we did sweet as. So it's a city. So how did it get its name? Is it a Native American name, Kev? Do you mind me calling you Kev, or do you like Kevin? I'm not sure. Because I think I was saying, driving around, I can drive around different areas, even around here, and I see a lot of like, even from London, like names, and I'm like, oh shit, and I'm sure some of those are like it's living there to know kind of thing. And then there's things like I was going down there was one street called Oxford, there was another one called Cambridge, and I'm like, holy shit, yeah, Kev's good, all right, sweet mate. I don't know, I don't want to insult anybody. I'm always about Steve, me. I'm always call me Steve, or me name, me Cockney name, me profile name, because I really answer to that mainly. I really do. I really take it on board. It's become a part of, and I use it as a tool, which is a really good tool to have. Is if you can take on board like a profile or what do they call that? Like a being, like a character. I'm not entirely sure about his history of name. Ken would probably know where his headquarters. Yeah, all right. Yeah, cool, cool. I'm always interested in things like that. You know, like I say, American history as well. Like looking in America, some of the American history is freaking interesting. Would you like me to share your life and you might get some? Yeah, sure, mate. I don't mind. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And trolls are good, matey. All is good. All is good. If people want to be like a bit naughty, you know, it's not the channel for it. But it's if people want to be, a bit bloody daft, and then they'll have to be dark because no one's going to respond to them and no one's going to be paying attention to them. We all know each other here, and we all. So if people get benefit out of it and want to join in the conversation and that, yeah, sweet as a nut, great. But if people want to be on the other side of it, and I probably need to get a moderator in here, and I'll get someone that's on the app that can just go on your bike. We went up to Isle Royal a couple of years back, and hiked around up there, and it's all native naming. Same with lots of other parts, even around here. Most lakes are native. Yeah, I love it, matey. I really do. If you look it up, the Isle of Arran, the Isle of Arran. It's a place. It's an island right off the main coast of Scotland. It's Scottish, but it's just off the main coast. It's one of the islands off the main coast of Scotland. And I mean, you could drive around the whole island. So what me and my mate did is we took mountain bikes, loaded them up with tents and cooking equipment, and I was chefing then. So I was like in charge of the chefing. Hold up, I've got to have a drop of Rosie, mate. Hold up. Oh, it's better. So I was in charge of all the cooking equipment. So I went out and I bought pet. I was fucking loving it, mate. I bought a little camper stove, one burner stove thing in the canisters, and some pans and plates, and was freaking loving life. Got all the bits and pieces. And my mate was great with a map. He was brilliant with a map, and he knew his godparents came from Scotland, and he was an adopted fella. This guy was adopted. This fella, and his godparents were Scottish. I forget where they lived. I think they lived in Aberdeen, but I might have that wrong. I'm not sure. So we took a train from London, Euston, I think it was, from London, or it might have been St Pancras, I can't remember, but from London all the way up into Glasgow. That was a 5-hour trip, because what we did is we got all baggies and we loaded up the mountain bikes with the tents and that. I had I think we had the one tent. I think we had just the one tent. So we had the one tent, and we had, sleeping bags and all that, and I had all the cooking gear on there and that. Hang on, not trying to plug our vids. No, plug away, man. That's what this is all about. It's about, listen, matey, Kevin, listen, mate. This community is built around fucking love and about carrying people and pulling people up and showing love for them people, and supporting, and and enjoying other people's company and what they do, and and then sharing and networking and building each other. It's what it's all about, mate. The only thing we don't have in the area, which we all freaking see, is someone that's got massive egos and are cocky and shit. But that sticks out like a sore fucking thumb, mate. Right? especially with what I do. I go, yep, got that, tag that one. Right? I pick that out real quick, mate. But hey, share the fucking love of your channel and everything, dude. Yeah, this is what this is all about. This is why I do this. This is why I pull people like you into a community. Because if you come into the community, you know, you're going to meet people. Yeah. Hold up. We went up to Iowa. Oh, hang on. I've read that one. Not trying to plug me, Vince, but check out our short series on our hike. It was epic. 11 days with barely anyone. Float plane in the hike. Oh, yeah, dude. That's banging. That's banging. Yeah. Heard my link? Heard? You can. I'm not understanding. I'm not very brilliant with social media. Shared. I'm like, no. Is that something new? Something I don't know about? All of a sudden, I wanted to know. Like, oh, what's that? Can I use that? But anyway, I'm not freaking boring anybody with this because you know I talk stories. I've got freaking shit tons of shit tons of stories. That's why I use them with guys as well that I help out. I use different stories as well. But and send that to me, matey, please. Get a hold of me on WhatsApp, dude. Yeah, Kev, get a hold of me. I told Cam to give you my number, and you can get a hold of me on WhatsApp. And send it my way so I don't miss it because yeah, I'd like to watch it. I love shit like that, mate. So the Isle of Arran. What's your favourite place in the world? Who, me? You asking me? Anyway, getting back to the Isle of Arran, we took our bikes and we packed them up with camping equipment, and I had all the cooking equipment with me and stuff like that, and we bought some bits and pieces. Okay, just to answer Buddha Bing, favorite place in the world. I mean, I haven't really traveled a lot of places in the world. There's a lot of places I want to go to that I imagine. I mean, if you split it up like cities and landscapes and things like that, because there's so many different avenues to pick any one place. It's like the United States. United States, there's so many different landscapes that are just beautiful on their own, just amazing for what they are, what you see. That it's hard for me to say, because I always used to say, "Oh, Florida, it's flat and it's hot," and I live here, but I'd bitch and moan about it, and it wasn't until I was able to accept the things that I'm not happy with, the heat. Okay, what are you gonna do about it? You live in Florida, right? Accept it. The fact that it's flat, right? What am I going to do about it? Build hills. So accept it. Then you start seeing the beauty for what these things actually are, and it's really hard to. So where I really want to go, as far as bucket list, that would probably become one of my is I had a client that did this, and it's a freaking amazing. I was following him. He was letting me know we were building up going to it, and there was a couple of times when he kind of peeled back. Big shout out to that guy. I'll know who he is when I mention where he went and that. And he went off to Thailand on his own. Took off to Thailand. This fella basically introduced him to Buddhism, and he wanted to know more. And he took off and went to Thailand on his own and went around. He was going around Thailand. He traveled through Cambodia and stuff and that as well. And he was showing me some amazing freaking videos from all that way. I want to get my wife to Thailand. It's a place that I do want to go to for, because I think it's like 90% is Buddhism or something. I find it a very, very spiritual part of the world. It's somewhere I would really like to. I'd really like to go and visit, but I also want to go to where Buddhism started, which is that northeastern area of India. And Mark Smith. Do I know? Do I know Mark Smith? Who's Mark? If I don't know you, welcome, absolutely welcome. It's a great community in here. If I do know you, hey, let me know who you are, because sometimes I don't know the names. But so I want to go. I want to go up there since I've been started this journey. Going that side, and I wanted to follow a path. I'd love to get in with gurus and shaman, and really, really embrace that whole freaking the life of it. I've been talking about getting more into that side of Buddhism and that, and wanting to know more about what all that is and the journey, and following the deep path deeper, going a bit deeper with it. And I'd really love to, anybody out there that sees this that would love to help me out, take me under their wing and teach. I'm all ears, sight, whatever. It's I find this journey to be an amazing way of working with my mind. Psychedelics, I believe in psychedelics done in the right way. Hang on, let me just go back up here. Not trying to plug it in, but send me that, Kevin. Yeah, the shorts, mate. Where am I? Link. Which favorite place in the world? I think I kind of answered that, but not really. Favorite place in the world. If I was to say probably my favorite place in the world right now, out of all the places that I've really visited and stuff. Well, again, it comes down to city and it. I mean, I love London, but there is some, when I go down onto a Florida beach and I'm standing on the freaking beach there, and it's just, you look around, it's like awe-inspiring. So US, I love the US for all the different landscapes. I've been up in the cabins up in the Carolinas, beautiful up there, mountains, freaking amazing. I meditated on a freaking rock. I climbed around this bank. We were up on a mountain, but I climbed around this bank, and there was this rock jetting out, and amongst just trees, just trees all up this mountain. And I went over and I got up, climbed up on top, and freaking just put myself out and started listening to the sound and that. Amazing. Psychedelics, talking about psychedelics, would I would stick to anything that comes from the ground. I'm a big believer, I'm a big believer in nature. I'm a big believer in plant life. I'm a big believer in herbs and using those. I believe the body can heal itself from anything. Um, I'm a big believer in healing myself, and and I'm not telling anybody to do this whatsoever, but not just go running off to a doctor, to let the immune system, do its thing too, and using different things. Like, I'll pop garlic and eat garlic. If I'm starting to feel a little not well, I'll literally straight up eat cloves of garlic throughout the day. I'll just eat them. Because it's a great natural antibiotic. But as far as if you're talking like psilocybin, yeah, I'm a big massive, if used correctly. It's got to be used correctly for this medicine. Yeah, absolutely. Do you know how to MOD people in a chat? If so, could you MOD me? I'll drop a link of my favourite place in the world. I've got no idea, mate. I've got no idea, matey. I just do what I do. I have no idea. And I don't necessarily just throw things out there either. I pretty much keep my things all kind of private and tied up and shit. So, but we got 12 people. We've got 12 people in here. Welcome, welcome, welcome in. Absolutely welcome in. It's a place we just chat. We just talk about things here and that. And I was talking about the Isle of Arran. I was talking about the Isle of Arran and how beautiful it's just a beautiful, beautiful place to be up that way. And we cycled around it, completely around it, cycled up in the mountains, uh, checked out red deer, and we camped on the side of the road. But this is probably one of my favourite places. Is this because this is amazing, absolutely amazing sight that I saw when it came to the stars. Because it was we laid down and I looked up and it was just freaking amazing, amazing, amazing stars, just amazing. You can make people moderator in the chat. Give the spanner a look. We get time. Yeah, I don't. You know what? I just keep the shit to myself, matey. I really do. I did that once. I had a moderator and that, and I'm like, I'll just keep it myself, and that's basically how I run. I wanted to do that right from the beginning, and I've got in with people, with my path before, and there's been people that have drifted, and I've not done anything with, and there's been some I've tried, and it's just not. So now I go wherever the energy starts taking me. And right now I'm on this like, okay, I'm going to get my podcasting up and better. I'm going to build this community because I think this community can be really helpful to a lot of people. Where's my spanner? Where's my spanner? I think this community can be really, really beneficial. I really do. I think it can help a lot of people. So it's a matter of building the community, building the podcast, building the vlog. So anybody in here, go and hit that subscribe button, because if you hit that subscribe button, you help me get out there and you help me reach other people. It's all about mental health in here and helping other people and community and networking. So a lot of us in here have mental health stuff that may be kicking off, going on. And I follow a journey. I've been following a journey for a little bit. And it was all down to starting to work on my own mind and find out what the heck, what's really going on within my own mind, and what can I do about that, and how can I work with it. So I now work with other people and guide other people and try and work with those minds to where they can get a better way of thinking. And I love what I do. So yeah, I just keep it like this, matey. I just keep it like this. But Isle of Arran, I keep missing Isle of Arran. Isle of Arran is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And the stars, we laid down, put our backs on the ground, and the stars. We was camping at a campsite at the base of a mountain called Goatfeld. And we were like, holy shit, look at that. It was just amazing. So I don't know if you get like that over your way, Kevin, do you? The Jarrett's Journey. Everybody follow each other. The Jarrett's Journey, he's got a channel too. He surfs out there at Lake Michigan and puts out a good little channel, and has things as well. If you do any kind of van life and you build things or anything like that, and you for your inside of your vans and stuff, there's some good stuff on that too, which is I'm not too clever when I'm trying to fix things up, but I can follow. And when I can follow somebody, it makes it a lot easier. This guy's easy to follow. It makes it really interesting. If you surf, he does, he talks about fixing up boards and dings and changing out fins and all kinds of cool shit. So go and check this guy out. The Jarrett's Journey up there. His name's Kevin. He's a great fella. And give him a follow. because I think you're like I say, if you do surfing out, you do van life, you're like that guy's channel. Does some really good editing as well. I like that last thumbnail you put out there, Kevin. That was a damn banger, mate. That was a banger. I like that. And they say your eyes catch the thumbnail, right? I've been messing around with that myself, putting up like changing things out and trying new shit, Been doing that. Yeah. You been to Scotland, Buddha Bing? You been to Scotland? You been up that way? It's nice country that way, I tell you what. The one where you were coming off. Oh, was you coming? It was a good shot, mate. I'll tell you what. I didn't really. It looks like you. It looks like you freaking set it up and shot it. It's a good shot. It's a good shot. Where did you go, matey? Up in Scotland. Where did you go? It's a nice area. And it's changed a lot. I mean, it's even changed a lot now. I mean, I was bleeding. I'm going 30, I don't know how many years ago. Perfection by accident, right? You caught the shot, mate. It was a banger. It really came out. It really came out well, matey. So go and check him out. If anybody surfs, I mean, I don't even surf, and I enjoy watching these guys. I learn because I think I've got one of those things where I always wanted to be one of those people, especially after I saw Point Break. Anybody seen that? Of course you have. Must have done. When I saw that, I was chefing at the time in the early 90s. Hogmanay, Edinburgh. Can't remember. Would love to go properly. Yeah. It's a beautiful part of it. It is a nice part of the world up there, matey. It really is. You don't go. Well, you're doing it. I'll tell you what. If you're lying about you surfing, you're doing a damn good job of lying because you could have fooled fricking me, mate. In your top 10, right? Point Break, great film. People slag it up. When people hear me talk about that movie, they slag it up. I'm like, hey, shit, man. I was like, early 90s. I was chefing. I was young. I was like in the kitchens, banging it out in the kitchens, like having a good time. And then that movie come along, which was like proper, like, full on. I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't mind some of that fucking life. Yeah, sweet. I don't mind doing that. And then, just getting to learn about some of the surfing life. And then I had mates that used to fucking be adrenaline junkies. Big shout out to Simon. He would bungee jump and skydive, and he did all that shit. And he did some surfing and boogie boarding and stuff like that. And I'd hear the story. He'd come back into work. He was a chef and all. Come back into work talking about it. So I used to know that kind of, what they'd get up to and all that. And I used to think, yeah, I like all that. So I kind of mixed in with it. But and then starting to talk to a bunch of you guys that surf and are into the game and the old territory of it all. I find it really interesting. It's and then the mindset of it all. I really that's where I went, was the whole mindset of it all. It fascinates me, the Zen bit. And then starting to hear guys talking about what it does for them, because I come straight out of it. What does it do for you? And you hear these different things about, you might hear stories that they've had in the past, and they've grabbed a board and they've been, kind of, and that bit fascinates me. I say I'm a jack of all trades, master of none. And I know there's more to that line, but I'm pretty hard on myself. Again, man, he gets on me all the time for being so hard on myself. Yeah, man, shit, dude, listen. And saying stuff like, listen, I'm going to, listen. By you telling your mind that you're not good at surfing or you're not doing it, Your mind goes, okay, well, you're not going to do it. And you will not believe. You will not believe yourself at all. You won't. Because the brain is doing what you've told it to do, basically. So when you tell it that I'm not good enough, or, we downplay ourselves, right? And why do we downplay ourselves when someone says, "Are you good?" Right? Because we go, "Oh, our ego, and we don't want to be that guy." We've met people that are cocky, or right, and we're like, "Oh, I don't want to be that guy." But there's a difference between being proud of what you're doing and being cocky. It's two different things. It's two different things. There's nothing wrong with being proud of what you do. There's nothing wrong with it. I struggle myself with this same kind of thing, dude. And I struggle with what even with what I do in work and the compliments and things that I get. And I'll be sitting here in front of my therapist going, I'm doubting myself. She's like, "Are you kidding me?" Right? Because we don't, there's something even from a past that's happened to make us doubt ourselves. You might have got warnings a lot when you was going to try something. You may have been told that you wasn't good enough. You might not have had somebody around. I mean, I don't know your story, mate. I'm just throwing things out there. But there might not have been somebody around to guide you through some of that stuff. And then when you start getting it, you're missing the pieces that are telling you that you are good enough. And the proof is in what you're doing. And it's not about being good enough. It's about progressing. Get out your mind being good enough. You don't have to be good enough. The person you're being good to is you. When you're on that board and you're loving what you're doing, that's good enough. That's it. It's not being good enough for anybody else. It's being good enough for you. And it's about trying everything. You get a passion for something, you push yourself into it. When you get a passion for something, you push more into it. It's just like me with what I do with the work and everything that I do. I am really passionate about. I'm reading all the time. I'm looking things up. I'm watching YouTube shit on the mind. I'm fascinated by it. I love it. I love it, and I love it even more when I start putting some of the things into practice, like boundaries and control for self, and saying what I want, not being pushed by somebody else. And you see what control that gives you. You start to get an inkling of who you are and what you are. You start to see that. So start by looking at yourself as someone that is good at what they do. Because if you look at the first time that you grabbed a ball and you went out and paddled out, are you better than that? I mean, ask yourself that. Are you better? Are you better than that first time? Are you better than that? Okay, yeah, right. So you're better than that first time that you first paddled out there. Yeah. Would you say you're better than 6 months ago? Was you are you So you're even better than, and you said, "Dang it, yeah." So that, to me, if you were sitting in front of me right now as a client, I'd be like, I'd catch on to that like quick, because you're very confident with it. Dang it, yeah. Very confident. Your body language would have said it, everything. I would have seen it clearly, right? So I know, like, even 6 months. So you've seen progress, yeah? What about 3 months ago? What about 3 months ago? And think now, because now it's a matter of tuning it down, because we can see the bigger jumps, but now it's a matter of tuning it down. It's a matter of tuning it down. It could have been something to where you just put your foot different or something. You picked up on it, but you'll throw that out of your head. So would you say that you're better now than 3 months ago? Because it's all down to what you're putting into your head. Maybe a slight bit. Slight bit is PPA, matey. Positive progressive action. Slight bit is what you hold on to. Don't play that down. This is where we go wrong. Don't play that down. Blow that bit there up big. You want to expand that. You want to expand that, because what's making you question that it's just slight? What's making you question? Any movement is good movement, right? Any movement is good movement. What's slight mean to who? You're saying slight, but does that mean that you're not going quick enough for what you want or for what other people want? Right? What is it? And if it's not going quick enough because you're worried about what other people are looking at and maybe judgment, why? Why do we want to look good for somebody? What is it about them? As long as you're making the movements forward and grabbing hold of those little pieces and expanding them and making them bigger than the other, you'll start shifting your way of thinking. To myself, not quick enough, where I think I should be. Yeah, but what is that? Where is that? Where do you believe that you should be? Where do you believe? We agree that everybody shifts at different speeds, right? We agree with that. People learn at different speeds, people shift at different speeds, right? I would imagine we can agree with that, yeah? So what I always say with that is just because we may be not picking something up as quickly as we believe we should be, I'm going to say should be, because that's why it's that should be bit, right? If we're concentrating just on that of where we believe we should be, it's going to cause a shit ton of anxiety. And it can also stop us from going forward with where we want to go. But if you concentrate on where you've come from and work that into it, like where you've come from to where you are now, right? And where you are now is a happy place to be, a much happier place to be than where you was, right? So what's the should be? I should be here. What's that bit? What's the should be? Why does that exist? On who's telling you that you have to be there? Is it someone that you can hear in your head going, you got to be there? What is it? My wife struggles with this too when it comes to the surfing, because she was comparing herself to me instead of her own progression. Right, now, see, there's a problem here too with comparisons. Yeah, now there's a difference when comparing. You can compare yourself on a bad scale to where it's becoming an anxiety problem, right? And then we believe that it's this belief that we're meant to be a certain place somewhere. Don't know what. And that comes from all different places, right? Different programs within our head. Or we can look up to somebody and go, I want to know everything about how they got there. How did they get there? I want to know everything about how they got there. What did they study? What did they do? What directions did they go? What movements did they make? What do they practice in their morning? First of all, I guarantee you, all those people that are really, really up there in their craft and everything take Zen time for themselves, right? But what is it, right? What is the should? I should be somewhere. I should be a certain thing, right? Because if we practice looking at, if we look at someone and we compare ourselves in a way of, I want that, without the jealousy part. So now I'm going to progress. It's actually going to be a push for me. It's going to be an energy. There's an energy to it that will push me forward. But if I look at it in comparison, you're going to be spending more time kicking yourself for what you haven't got that they have. And you ain't going to because what happens then is you become a victim. Oh, I haven't got that because this, or I haven't got that because of that. Oh, I've had it worse, or I've had it worse, right? Instead of looking at it and going, well, how do I move towards that? How do I get that? And making that the energy, instead of comparing the other way, you shift the energy of it. Shift it. Because the mind, what we do is we're giving it a one track. And if you're giving the mind just a one track, it's going to think one track. It's just going to stay on one track. But if you start giving it like, hang on a minute, there's another option here. What if if I think, okay, how do I get that? How do I move the wall? Even freaking like, okay, what kind of books do they have out there? What can I learn? What video? And do it that way. You're right. Yeah, maybe where I should be is it's right where you're at. Exactly. There is no where you should be. The only way you can be thinking it's not where I should be is if we believe someone's telling us we're meant to be somewhere, right? That could be a voice. That could be a subconscious thing as well. That could be something that's happened in our past. That's always someone not believing you. Someone always saying, "Well, you ain't. You're never feeling good enough. You get a good grade at school. Why haven't you get a B? Why haven't you got an A? You get an A. Why haven't you got an A plus? It's never enough. Never enough. I'm never good enough. I'm never good enough. I've got to push harder. I've got to push harder." And then you said it. And you say, I'm not there yet because you're worried about the repercussions or the freaking feedback that your subconscious mind is giving you from the past. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Cup of tea. Right. So say to yourself right now, and it's going to sound kind of weird at first, but say to yourself right now, I'm good at surfing. I'm good at surfing. And sit with it. Don't question it. Don't answer it back. Don't say any negative shit to it because straight away your other mind's going to come in and go, no, straight away it's going to come in, right? But what you say to that, no, you ain't. Prove it. Prove it to it. If it's there saying no, it ain't, prove it. Say, well, hang on a minute. Look where I've come. Look and you hammer it with every freaking all the progress that you've been making along the way, and it will shut up because you're telling it's coming from a place in your brain that knows that that's truth. There's no denying it. You've done it. When you've got an actual reality, that's the actual reality. There is nothing else around it. No one can say to you, you didn't do it, because you did do it. It's a reality, right? So then you just come back in it with the actual realities, because this thing is telling you bullshit. Porky Pie's over here, mate. It's telling you all kinds of bullshit. So then you come back with the facts. Can't argue with facts. Not even the court of law argues with facts. But you told the brain anything different, and you go into victim. Oh yeah, well I didn't have this, right? Like fishing. Oh, I had a bad day fishing because I didn't have the right rod. I didn't have the right reel. My bait weren't quite right. My position, I wasn't sitting right. Come on, man. Yeah, I know there's a lot of that involved, but how about your part in it, right? Why didn't we move? Why did we sit there if the position was wrong, right? If we know, why don't we do something? Those things we have a solution for and do something about it. If there is no solution, like something's happened, like this bloody hurricane that was coming, I can prepare and everything, but I can't say, hey, listen, Mr. Hurricane, if you would do us a little bit of a favour, if you could go over that way, or straight out in the Atlantic, it'd be a great, big, beautiful thing. And hell no. It's coming, right? Has that helped at all? Because I'm actually gonna sign off here in a sec. I hope that's helped, mate. And I hope it's helped your wife too. I hope it can help her. This will be recorded, so you can always put it back up. But Bing, you still there? You still on here? It's helped a ton. Made our evening. Thank you. Good. Oh, your wife's watching. Sweet as a nut. Good meeting you. Good meeting you. I'm glad it's helping out. You know, we fall victims to all kinds of freaking shit, mate. And you know, we all do it. We don't like people that call the victim card, but we do it and all. Yeah. We do it and all, mate, you know. Man in the keyboard, sweet. Oh, it's good to meet. Good to meet. You know, not really met you, matey, but don't really know your missus, so it's good to meet her. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing all right. Tune in. Come in on Sundays, 11 a.m. on a Sunday Eastern time. I do some breath work and meditation and that. I'm big into it. I did some meditating and Wim Hof work before I came on, and then we have a talk on chatting. I don't know if who else is in here. Who else is still in here? Is Buddha Bing still in here? I know Dan had to shoot off. I'm showing that I got 4 in, but I don't know who else is. I don't know who else is in here, and I hope people got some help out of that. You know, you can sit on the side and listen, and some people may come in with a question like that, or we can figure something out on the spot. Like I say, mate, I don't know backgrounds or anything like that. Some of that may have made sense as far as, you know, backgrounds and programs and beliefs and shit like that. But, you know, I always advise people to be able to go and see somebody neutral, like my guys do with me, and start having a little look at where things are coming from and the whys, and then just figuring those parts out. It's like a puzzle. Because we really don't bloody know ourselves. We really don't. So, but I hope that helped. It don't look like Buddha Bing's in here. So, thank you, Buddha. It's been wonderful. I had a bit of a low earlier this week, and they just truly helped a whole bunch. Listen, matey, I don't know if you know about double breath. Do you know about double breath? Let me know, because before I sign off, I'll teach you double breath. Can you hear me all right? Because I've had my microphone all the way over there, and I just realised. If you don't know double breath, let me know. And can't say that I do. Okay, is your wife with you too? And I'll teach you a bit of double breath, mate. Okay, so double breath. I got this. Write this down. Got this from a guy called Andrew Huberman. Great guy. He's a neuroscientist, and I follow this fella. I believe he's just brought a book out. I might have that wrong, but I know I saw something about it. But a really good fella to follow. He's out at one of the universities, can't remember which one, but he's out at one of the university, professor out there. Young fella, has a great story. Look at his background story, has a story to him as well. Not always a good boy, but, you know, neither was I. Not that I went to prison or anything. But great guy, Andrew Huberman. And there's a thing, and we did a similar thing, which I'll show you as well. Remind me, called Breath of Fire. Breath of Fire. Now, the tongue's getting all tied up because of my accent. Hang on, drop a tea, matey. Hold up. So remind me after we do the double breath of the breath of fire if I forget. But it's kind of similar to that, and it's really good. Do you have anxiety in that? Yeah. Do you both have anxiety, like kick off, panic attacks, or anything like that? Because this is good. It's really good for if you got something. The first thing to do, mate, is starting to be aware, starting having an awareness and tuning into it. And it takes a little time, um, but tuning in, yeah, like panic attacks and anxiety and shit, yeah. Um, Having an awareness of when you're starting to feel it. If you can have an awareness of when you start to feel it, sometimes you don't even realize it's there. Unless you tune into it, there'd be something with the body maybe, or you may feel like the breathing's got a little shallow. I've heard of someone getting a metallic taste in their mouth. There's all kinds of I can get like heat and shit that comes up like this, or I'll start getting um some like pressure coming up in me forehead and shit, right? See, feeling with a slight pressure and heat. Right, right. Is that your first signs of it, of like something's coming on, or are you already kind of, because you want to get it at the earliest moment that you can. If that's a sure sign that something's going on, that's when you start kicking in breath work and shit like that and getting on it. It'll work while you're in it, but it's much better if you can freaking nail it, at the first signs. Yeah, and then it'll happen so fast. Right, comes in. Yeah, it will start coming in quick. It's because you're tuning into it. The thing with this is, if you can put space in between that and in reaction, it's the reaction that becomes the problem, because you react, you grab hold. Now you're reacting to something that might not even be real, but you're telling the brain it's real. When the brain starts thinking it's bloody real, mate, it's on, right? Now it's changing your body chemistry. It's telling you all kinds of shit to get ready, and it's getting the body ready. It's on, mate. And then what happens is you're going to start grabbing hold of everything else as well that's coming along, because you've reacted. You're in, right? You can still break it by having an awareness of it. Because otherwise, when you're in it, you can't see it. You're running. It's like a freight train. You're before you know it, you've got to lay down or something, right? Your freaking heads are spinning. You're going into overwhelm. You're going into overwhelm. This double breath helps. And what you do is, drop a Rosie, hold up. So what you do is, you can do it anywhere. I'm just doing this so I can emphasize and show you. But you're breathing in. You want to expand the belly out. So do it with me, yeah. If you give yourself a number right now, think right now where your stress level at. Give it a number 1 to 10. 1 being the lowest. I'm good. I'm freaking sound as a pound. I've freaking smoked a spliff and I'm good to go. Right. To 10, where you might be feeling a bit like, oh shit, game on. Right. So give yourself a number around there, and we'll do this and then see where you're at. We'll see how this works. Right. Right now it's a 1. All right. Well, this might go down where you go to sleep then. So what you're gonna do? Both of you are at 1. Both of you are relaxed out. You're gonna take a breath in through the nose. If you can't do it through the nose, do it through the mouth. But it's so much better through the nose, because there's mechanisms in the nose that release nitric oxide into the blood system, which relaxes blood vessels, allows the oxygen to move better, which means you're getting more oxygen into the blood, into the brain, everything, right? It's going to flow everything better. It's going to make everything, it makes your blood pressure come down, cortisol levels drop, right? Your immune system actually goes up, right? So you want to draw in through the nose. You're going to do it twice. You're going to suspend at the top for a short period, and then you're going to let it out slowly. And what I tell people is, if you look at it like you've got a candle in front of your nose, a lit flame candle, you don't want to blow the candle flame out, but you want it to move. So you want to slow it down like that. The other thing I tell people is you're never, ever going to see that breath again. So have it to where you don't want it to go. You want to hold on to it, but you're letting it out. Right, so it gives you a little bit of an idea of how to slow this thing down. Right? So what you're doing, I'll show you. So what you're doing is you're going and you're pushing the belly out. So you're going, all the way out, pulling that belly button back. Yeah. And then you do it again. And do it again. And do it one more time. And tell me how you feel. I know you said you're at a 1, but it's a really good breathe. You probably can it can make you feel a little euphoric as well. Um, but it will rest. You'll feel. I can feel it. I'm down low and I can feel it. I feel more relaxed, more mellow. But it's a great breathing exercise to do. Let me know. Let me know how you did with that. Tingly and very calm. Right, right, right. It's your blood circulating now. You're using your lungs. You're expanding the lungs properly. You're taking in. I've been told, I don't know, but I've been told that you're only using 30% of your lung capacity when you're just breathing throughout your day, which is crazy. That's all you're using. So when you're actually breathing properly and you're expanding those lungs and you're getting the air in and it's oxygenating, yeah, you start to feel a little like, whoa, hold up, right? Starts to feel a little good. Let me take a drop of tea and then I'll tell you about the breath of fire. Breath of fire is something that I did in Kundalini yoga. Great yoga to follow, by the way. Kundalini yoga. Go and check it out. It's the only yoga that I got involved with, that I got introduced to and got involved with. But from what I've heard, other people with that are in the yoga worlds that do, they it Kundalini, Cund ALINI. Kundalini yoga. It's a great yoga. If you go on YouTube, you can find classes and that with this. But I used to go before the big C happened. Won't speak about it because I don't know if I get chopped off. I was going out to an ashram and I was doing that. And I got introduced to this by my therapist, who again is a complete hippie yogi. She's done all the classes. She's big into herbs and plants, and so she become my basically guru, um, and got me involved in Kundalini yoga. In Kundalini yoga, you can go there one session and you're doing a lot of breath work, which this breath of fire was one of them that I got introduced to. And then you can go as well and you can have breath work mixed with different like posing situation. I call them poses, but the different poses situations. There's that. Um, or you'll go and they put you through. You get tested. Like there was one where we had to hold our feet about 6 inches off the ground and do breath of fire and keep it going and keep it going. And it's like, oh, and it will test you. Um, but anyway, breath of fire. The way I got told how to do it is think about a panting dog, right? But I do mine through the nose now. Take them off. I do mine through the nose. But the way I was introduced to it by my teacher was panting dog, right? But if you do it with the nose, so you do it for, I don't know, 30 seconds, a minute, We used to do it for long periods of time when we was doing it in yoga, but you're just doing this, and I don't know. Hopefully, you can hear it. Again, you're pushing the belly out, bringing it in, pushing it out, bringing it in, right? But like this, right? So so what you're doing, you want to sit up nice and straight, keep your back straight, so your lungs can expand good, right? And we're not going for that full lung like we did with the double breath. This is succession, but you're pushing. You want to use your diaphragm to push, yeah? So you're going, and what you do is at the end, when you do say 30 seconds or whatever, you breathe in and you hold for a few seconds, 15 seconds or so, and you just allow the energy to move through your body and you tune in. So let's do that. Yeah, do it with me. We'll see how you feel. So let me get my timer on. Um, let me get my timer on. Or my stopwatch is what I need, don't I? Yep. All right. So what we're going to do, we'll do it for 30 seconds. Then we'll take a nice long deep breath in, and then what I want you to do is close your eyes and tune into it. What you're feeling, right? It's about tuning in and not reacting. So you're going to tune into what you're actually feeling. So when you get this breath, it'll take you somewhere else. I tell you, your mind. So so we're going to do that. What I showed you, and then we're going to suspend the breath for I don't know 20 seconds. Right at the top, we're going to take a nice long deep breath in, all the way in, expanding the lungs, pushing the belly out, and then we're going to suspend the breath at the top. Okay, and then I want you to just as we let it out, I just want you to just keep your eyes closed and tune in, and then you're going to sit there for a minute and just tune in. All right. So here we go. We're going to start the breath of fire. So here we go. Go. Breathe in. Let it out nice and slowly and just tune in. Remember the candle. Just tune in. And then just allow the body to sit there and just tune into what you're feeling. What the body's telling you. Just tune into that. Just keep your eyes closed and just tune in. And you can do several rounds of this if you wish. And you can extend either the breath work part out. You can do a minute or 2 minutes, and then taking a nice long lung breath in and then suspending at the top and then just releasing it out nice and slowly and then just tuning into what you're feeling. Sometimes emotion can show up, and it's okay. It's being aware of it. How did you do with that, mate? How did you get on with that? It's just trying these things out, and in different circumstances too. Like I've been angry and did certain things, certain breath works and that have helped me out and that. So it's a matter of let me know how you did with it. I don't know if you're still on here. Hopefully you are. But stuff where it's been around for God knows how long. It's hard to keep a rhythm, but it felt extremely relaxing when you exhale. Right. It you'll get used to that rhythm. Again, don't think it has to be any certain way. Don't overthink. like I'm doing it wrong. You're not. Don't overthink. Just keep a rhythm. If you have to slow it down, slow it down. Slow it down, right? I do that because I automatically go into that. But you get there, you build it up. There's a Wim Hof breath work that I do, and now I'm able to, well, not every single time, but I've been where I've been able to inhale and hold a breath for over 3 minutes, which comes in really handy with surfing. My body went into a very relaxed state to where I almost felt pain free, which is a huge thing for this battered upset. Right. There you go. There you go. Keep practicing it. Right. I'm about to get into, I'm going to film it. I don't know if anybody would be interested in it, but I'm going to do an ice bath. I've had this freaking ice bath for months, and I haven't put it together. And I've got a little freezer in the garage full up with these big old blocks of ice. I mean, I'm going to do it right, and I'm going to get into ice plunging and writing about it and reporting it and doing videos on it and stuff like that. And it's very, very good for all that. It helps with the breath work. I take cold showers every day. But yeah, practice, matey. Keep practicing those things. How did your wife get on with that? How did she do with that? Start surfing the lakes half the time. It feels like an ice bath. Yeah, right. Right. I said to Cam one winter, I said, I'm going to come over there and I'm just going to walk out there with a pair of shorts on because I want to just walk straight into the ice water. And people are like, what? Yeah, that's, I want to do ice work like that. I want to go straight into the ice water. Like I say, I want to step this up, get a little deeper, learn a little more. Done some breath work in the past. She really likes it. Good. Yeah, and these things will help you with surfing and that as well, man. You know, if you can sit on the sand for a little bit and just zone out, sit on your board and just close your eyes and drift off into the sound and see yourself doing what you're about to do and see yourself good at it and confident in it and loving it and smiling and like you're doing drone work and following yourself on the board. Do it, visualize it, make it something real, and then go out there and surf. Tell me what you think. Tell me what happens. I'm interested. Yeah. So next time you get out there, yeah, and you're gonna do a sesh, just throw the board down, sit on the board. And when I go down on the beach, I'll get sand and I'll make a seat, like a Zofu seat, and I'll plant my ass on that and get me out, and then I'll meditate. And I'll put myself out and meditate and just tune into what I'm hearing and do that, calm yourself down, starts visualizing yourself out there, like on that board with confidence and doing it, standing up every single freaking time, looking at the waves, freaking reading them, getting in the groove. Just start doing it. Brain thinks you've already done it. All it's got to do now is move the body. I know, and it might, you may look at that and think, well, that's daft, but that's truth. That's truth. I definitely surf better when I'm in a relaxed, better state of mind. That's for sure. Other things. So do that. Can you do that for me then? Because I'm interested. I wouldn't mind getting a program together either, like teaching. But if I can get some feedback on that, if you can, even if you get like 5 minutes, mate, yeah, just sit on the bowl, tune in, relax the breath, slow everything down, and start visualizing yourself. Even if you're not believing it, it's the visualization part of it. And then get yourself visualized up there doing it and all that. And then give me a little heads up, yeah? Brilliant. Brilliant. Yeah, it's more for you, mate. It's for you. I'm just getting some feedback from it. Yeah. This is for you. Just just would like a bit of feedback, and then I can work things out from that and start helping. I've got an idea it's going to do what I'm thinking it's going to do, but when you get the actual feedback from it, and I can start maybe writing up programs or meditation programs that help that out, the visualization side of it or something, talking to you guys and figuring it out what I need to put together and go from there. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to wrap it up. I've been on here way too long. I'm going to go and get something to eat now, a bit of nosh. And thank you, all those for tuning in. I know there's been a bunch there in the background, but it's been an absolute blessing. It's a blessing to be able to do these kind of things anyway. It's a blessing to have the know-how that I've got with this because I didn't know anything. So it's a blessing to be able to learn and love and put it out there and help a bunch of people. So throw me out there if you would. Go and hit that subscribe button if you would. If you're listening in after the live and you've come this far, please hit that subscribe button. I know I've gone on a little bit, but it's been an interesting one. So go and show me some love. Shove me around all your friends, your family, your dogs, your pets, your everything, right? Get me out there because the more people take an interest in this, the more energy it gives me and the more I want to put it out and the more people it helps. So get me out there. Thank you so much. Love each and every one of you. Thanks for being loyal. Stay that course. Namaste.